Hello engaged audience, this is Fides Television reaching you live on Fides Media. I am your host Dennis Joy. We're glad to have you join us on this week's episode of News Flash. Stay tuned as I bring to you accurate and up-to-date news information from within and across Anambra State. Let's have a quick time out. We will be right back shortly. Welcome back. Now let's have a rundown of the major stories on the Fides newspaper this week. World Day of Consecrated Life 2025. Faithfulness to your call wins you eternal life. Bishop Ezeoka foretells religious. This story further reads, amid the celebration of World Day of Consecrated Life by the Catholic Church on Sunday, 2nd February 2025, the Catholic Bishop of Awka, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezeoka, has urged consecrated men and women in Awka Diocese to become faithful witnesses in today's world by faithfully living out the evangelical counsels of chastity, poverty, and obedience. This story is continued on page 4 of the Fides newspaper. Obi turns down request for structure to be named after him in Nsukka. The former governor of Anambra State and the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, has politely declined the proposal to have a magnificent hall at Shanahan College of Nursing Sciences, Nsukka, named after him, despite overseeing its construction. Also, Mr. Peter Obi presented a check of 20 million naira for the continued infrastructural development at Shanahan College of Nursing Sciences in Nsukka. Details of the story can be found on page 4 of the Fides newspaper. Father Ebube Monsor confirms arrests of kidnappers who adopted U.S. returnee Catholic priests. Fiery Catholic priest Reverend Father Emmanuel Obima, popularly known as Father Ebube Monsor, has revealed that 6 of the kidnappers who adopted his brother priest in December have been apprehended. The priest, while speaking to his congregation, expressed happiness that the kidnappers who had mocked him had at last been arrested. Similarly, kidnapped 70-year-old man returns after 37 days. This story and more can be found on page 5 of the Fides newspaper. Still on the issues of insecurity, decomposing body of kidnapped Anambra lawmaker found in Onitsha. The Anambra State House of Assembly member representing Onitsha 1 State constituency kidnapped on December 24, 2024, Honorable Justice Azuka, has finally been discovered dead at 2nd Niger Bridge in Onitsha, Anambra State, with his body in advanced stage of decomposition. A combined security team, it was gathered, found the decomposing body of the late lawmaker at 2nd Niger Bridge. This story can be found on page 15 of the Fides newspaper. And on page 6, MTN Foundation donates educational aids to 300 rural students in Enugu-Ukwu. MTN Foundation, the philanthropic arm of mobile network service provider MTN, has donated educational aid to 300 students of St. Teresa's Secondary School in Enugu-Ukwu community in Njikoka local government area of Anambra State. The materials included 10 exercise books and 1 school bag each for all 300 students of the school. The foundation also distributed umbrellas, routers, and Wi-Fi equipment to the school. 1,000 UNIZIK staff employed 5 years ago protest non-payment of salaries. Say 12 colleagues have died. Let's look further into the story. About 1,000 staff members of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, have protested non-payments of salaries after 5 years of employment. The protesting staff said a total of 12 of their colleagues who were employed at the same period had died while waiting to be paid their emoluments. Also, 2-story buildings collapses in Awka. These 2 stories and more can be found on page 8 of the Fides newspaper. Catholics will accept common dates for Easter in East-West, Pope says. Celebrating the week of prayer for Christian unity, Pope Francis reaffirmed the Catholic Church's willingness to accept a proposal for a common date for celebrating Easter in the West and the East. This story can be found on page 15 of the Fides newspaper. Now let's move over to our editorial for this week. Akudo phenomenon in Onitsha, shameful, repugnant. Over the last weekend, news broke about the death of 4 members of the Anambra State Anti-Touting Squad, otherwise known as SASA, in Oba, Anambra State. According to reports, the operatives of the agency were driving against the traffic when they ran into a tipper which smashed their buses, killing 4 on the spot and injuring another. SASA is an agency set up by the Anambra State government to move against touts in Onitsha and environs. You can check out page 3 of the Fides newspaper for details of our editorial. And that's a wrap on this week's episode of News Flash. Many thanks for staying with us. Please do well to follow us on all our social media handles as displayed on your screen. And also do not forget to grab a copy of the Fides newspaper this week for better reading experience. I'm still your host, Dennis Joy. Until I come your way next time, have a good day.